I know the listeners will be having their own issues and problems on a day-to-day basis. What are the things that are very topical at the moment? I don't even want to prompt you because, I've been picking up and having conversations about all kinds of things. It would be great to get from the absolute coalface what it is that you're seeing that people are struggling with right now.
I mean, if I pick up on the pandemic aspects and the mental health and things like that, it's the recruitment and everything else around finding the right people for the right jobs. It takes, if we think in terms, it takes 30 to 60 days to develop a new habit. So every one of us has got a new habit now, considering we started from the pandemic. So we all see, look and act differently to that. So your whole workforce now sees things differently. It's this, smart working. Is it appropriate? Is it the right thing? Absolutely, it's the right thing to do. Before that, I've been in businesses where you had to clock in, clock out, and you were told what time lunch was. Then it got a little bit fluid over certain times, 80s, 90s, the teens to do that.
Flexi time, yeah.
Now, you come and go as you like. So if you speak to some of the international, probably professional services, they monitor when their staff log on and log off and things like that, because it's lone working aspects and things like that. People are on at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Productivity's gone through the roof, but you can see they'll disappear for 3 or 4 hours during the day, which is fine. That's family time. They'll take the kids to school, they'll pick the kids up, they might go and watch a football game or something like that. They'll work at the weekend and make the hours up. But professionally minded people, they do that. And it's a way of changing our work culture for me, so that we start to do that in production, manufacturing, and different other works of life, I think. Richard, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think a lot of the people we're talking to at the moment is a lot of their issues around recruitment and keeping staff and attracting the right staff. Because the thing, it's very hard to train an engineer with 20 years experience in 2 weeks. You unfortunately, you can't do it. No. So there's a real shortage out there, and I know, speaking to a lot of people, that is the challenge, is finding and keeping the right people. And on top of everything else as well, obviously supply chain issues, and obviously Brexit, and obviously getting stuff across the EU. So we've got all of that piled on top of that as well.
I know lots of the listeners will be listening to what you guys are saying and hanging on every word as I am. For me, one of the areas that they'll be thinking about is that measurement, and we hear that old adage, what gets measured gets done. When you talk about that logging on, logging off, calculating the number of hours that you're physically working for an organisation, I know that we've had lots of questions sent into us, into our team, to ask that question. How do we do that? What sort of things, tools and tactics can business owners and controllers do within their businesses that help measure those things? Because that's, for them right now, is where do I turn to? I've never done this before. Somebody works from home. How do I know how many hours they're working? Do you have measurements?
I think it's if you can measure it, you can manage it. It's an old style of management, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the culture. So you've got to measure the productivity via the positive culture that you have in your organisation. The people are there because they want to be there. People don't leave businesses, they leave managers. Yeah. That's an old cliche. So there's two cliches there. You can measure it, you can manage it, and people don't leave businesses, they leave managers. It's around looking after your people to have the positive culture to deliver around that. Do I need to look at when somebody clocks on, when they clock off and stuff like that? Absolutely not. And I would shy away from that. I'd encourage anybody to do that. It's about employing the right people. It's project-based, application-based. It's a specific task. How long does it take to do that task? Are they professional enough to deliver that task? Well, yeah, of course they are. If they're not, they shouldn't be with you. If they're not, they're delivering. They're not delivering. They are delivering. It's looking at why they're in the catchment point between there. If they're not delivering, but they have done, there's something there. There's emotional attachment. There's some issues around that. If they need to look at the kids while they're in the nursery, let them do it. Put a camera up there. Put it there. If they need to work at the nursery and things like that, let them do that. If they want to have time off, don't let them sneak off. Let them tell you, I'm not going to be available at 3 o'clock this afternoon because I'm going to go and watch the sports day. Totally fine, but I'll be back online at 6, 7 o'clock, or when the kids have gone to bed tonight. That's totally acceptable. I don't need to be told that. Just do it. Make it work. Make it work. It's the culture. Yeah. All about the culture.
It's nurturing a trust environment.
Of course it is. Absolutely right.